Now, where did you guys record this? Where was it
These are all
recorded?
recorded here in Los Angeles, at my studio that we're looking at right now, Skybox Studios.
Okay, cool. Now, okay, so you got to
Yeah.
tell me, where, where did that, where did you get the name Skybox? How did that come about?
That's actually what my wife calls my studio. I'm lucky to have a separate building off of the house, and it's more of a modern kind of architecture, and so it's very much just a big box on stilts.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that's what she just started calling it. And it's funny, we had many other names for the company, and when we would do polls, of people to say, oh, well, what do you think of this name? What do you think of that name? Like Skybox Audio was always the winner. It wasn't the name that I wanted because it was just what my wife used to call the studio for fun, but it just sort of stuck. So that's how we ended up with that. So we're leaning into it.
Yeah, yeah, own it. You
Uh-huh.
just got to own it. Where would you suggest us go next with the acoustic?
You can just do the regular Relic. It's wonderful, vibey, old piano with a lot of character. I actually just used this sample yesterday for like a '60s Aretha gospel type thing, and just cranked up the room mics, and oh
Oh,
man, it's
wow.
so fun. Yeah, like if you go back to the presets and load one that's called The Devil and Mr. Four Track. So they're all alphabetical, which I like. So you'll find it in under D, actually. I think it's just Devil. It's not. Oh no, it is the. Look at that. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Now that's one that's like I happened to use yesterday. Um,
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, we've got the infamous pedal noises, and so we can adjust those in this
right.
realism
Well,
thing here.
I tell you what's unique about what we did with the pedal noises is, and I'm not sure anybody else is doing this, but the pedal script actually listens to your playing,
Oh,
and if you're playing softly, it plays a soft pedal sample.
okay.
And if you're playing loudly and getting into it, it plays a louder pedal sample. Because man, nobody likes the big thunk. So in order to try and take care of that, we did we actually did velocity sampling on the pedal as well. I'm sure whatever it is when you hit the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just that ode. And here again, I'm hearing that rich low end. Well, I sing because I'm happy, but I sing because I'm free. Yes, his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches over me. You get me preaching, I have to pass the plate, That's, yeah, because that's just great. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? See, because music and instruments take you to places. It takes you places. And
Yep.
we got the devil in the title, but we're going to cast it out in the name of Jesus,
that's it. That patch was inspired by an artist named Daniel Johnston.
Yeah.
And his documentary was called "The Devil and Daniel Johnston," so that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
inspiration for that.
Yeah, and listen
that
to all
preset.
that juicy stuff happening after
Yeah.
those releases. Now this is this upright that you were talking about. That's a like an antique or just a classic.
Yeah, it's from the late 1800s. It's just got a lot of vibe, and you know, we just had to get it in there. It just, again, you know, it's like you try and, you know, on your, I don't know, on my journey, it's like I learned sort of late in life, unfortunately, that when you find an instrument that you connect with and feel special, you should, you know, hang on
Absolutely.
to it. You know? And when I was younger, I let a lot of those go. You know, you go into a guitar store or a music store, and you find a thing, and you just have that moment where you're like, man, this is really great. And then you put it back up, and then you walk out of there, and it's, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years before it happens again. You know, so it's just one of those pianos that just has a thing, and
it's those moments. It's those
Right.
moments, and the thing is, you might not have it again, and that's
Right.
that's the thing. So that's great that, and the thing is, it's great that you're in a position where you can capture that, and let us experience that as well. So it's not like just one instrument. It's just like you've got it, and then when we have it, we experience that same joy and that same experience that you had. Man,
I hope so.
it's amazing. What's another good preset for this Relic upright?
On the different side, why don't you try that MINDHUNTER? That's going to be more of a sound design kind of, you know, composery patch.
And the thing is, I improvise everything. Everything is just like, we didn't sit down an hour before. So like, this is like, when I hear this coming into these,
Yeah.
it causes something to happen. It
That's it, man.
just takes you someplace, and that's. Denny Dunlap, a man on a mission. Finding an ancient relic upright, he dives into the mysteries that it contains. It kind of sounds like Guy Michael Moore. It's like he does all kinds of crazy things like that. You know, he's like.
You might have just pitched a show for the History Channel. That sounds pretty convincing.
Chip and Joanna Gaines, fixer-upper, piano style. But see, you've already got the shiplap going on this thing already. But see, listen to that. And see, those little ideas just can trigger a whole arrangement or something, or set this tone.
Yeah, like I said, we spent a lot of time
and you can tell.
weeding out the dodgy presets.
And as you go up, and that was MINDHUNTER. Hammers and waves. Okay, so hammers and waves. So why that?
I mean, it just try to come up with a name that's sort of, because it's a 10 instrument collection, you know, sort of encapsulate everything, and at its most basic, that's what all of the instruments have in common, right? They all are hitting with a hammer and making waves.
Okay,
it
cool.
Just kind of came, and I try and, you know, not think that it's, you know, related to, I have a surf obsession, so I try to make it not related to that at all.
And let's go to the UX upright. And,
Sure. Check that.
Okay. I heard this in the chat. Oh Lord my God. Okay. When I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, and I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. When Christ shall come with shouts of acclamation to take me home, what joy will fill my heart. Then I shall bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Man. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Man, that is
a good one, right?
A good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that song might become a classic down the road if we give it a couple of hundred years more. I think we might have a classic on our hands. But but you know what? I've played many an upright in those churches around where I grew up, and some uprights weren't as nice sounding as this one. One upright I remember trying to tune it with a pair of vice grips, and you know what? That didn't work. That didn't work out very well.
It was a dangerous endeavor. Yeah, no, I personally love the sound of this one. The engineer that we worked with, on this is actually, he popped into the chat, Dana Nielsen.
Yes.
He engineered these sessions. He's a Grammy-nominated engineer, surf buddy of mine. Just happens to be a big shot engineer, but we're buddies. And he nailed this one, man. It's just a workhorse. It's beautiful.
So microphones. What kind of microphones did you guys use? Any like?
Oh, all sorts of things. You know, anything from I mean, really. All the stuff, you know, U67s, U47s.
You got some ribbons?
Ribbons, absolutely.
Okay.
44BX and some 77DX ribbon mics, and just I'm glad that it was his job to sift through all that stuff and pick the. That's another thing, you know, our point of view on the stuff is, you know, 2 mic positions. You get a close, you get a far, you know. We do the work for you and make sure that each one of them sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the far mic position, and let's just listen to how that sounds like. Yeah. So you instantly kind of get that spatial. But that's not going to be your typical. You know, I just jump in with both hands and both feet.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So just to go to the you know, if you wouldn't mind, we touch a little bit on the Swarm, which I think is a really unique If you go to the presets, why don't you load up? Let's see, what would be a good one? Well, if you want to go, why don't you load up Clunky Nightmare?
Oh,
That's in the C's there.
I see that. I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
I
I
see,
see what you did there.
but oh,
So, if you hold out a chord, you're gonna hear this granular synthesis come in, and so if you go to the Swarm page, you can see now these aren't special samples. This is actually being synthesized out of the original sounds. So what you can do is you can drag that XY pad around and really change the timbre of you know
and that's
down
assignable. Is that
down and to the left is going to be dark, and up and to the right is going to be brighter.
so? Is this assignable? Is that
It
control?
is. Yeah.
How would we
Yeah,
do
you can
that?
do that in the settings. Yeah, you can
So
assign it.
so that would
So
be
if you'd like to assign it, in the top left there's a little arrow. That's the to save the patch.
okay.
Yeah, there you go. Hit that little all the way to the left. Hit the arrow. Now
Ah,
hit it again, and
okay.
you're gonna find the settings. So then
Okay.
you can change the Swarm XY and set it to whatever you like.
Okay.
You can learn.
So
Just go down to learn, and then you can move whatever controller you'd like
the
to.
problem with an XY control, because the SL88 has that, because as soon as I hit learn,
Oh, right. You got to be very careful about.
see, because it picked up 64. Let's see. So 19.
What
Oh, there
should
we
it
go.
be?
There we go.
All right.
I had a little steady hand. Ah, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you're driving.
That is so cool. See, it's got that real pure sound, but then it sneaks up and brings in that just sneaks up there. That's really cool. I love.
So to highlight it even. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I just love being able to get my hands on a control like that.
It looks cool. So yeah, just to highlight it a little more, back out to the presets and load the one it's called. It starts with a B, Bending Time.
Okay.
Now it's going to be an extreme example, I think, of the Swarm, if I remember correctly. It's very pitch modulated, so prepare your ears. Again, the Swarm is the paddy stuff, so the longer tones is going to sort of.
So someone asked, you can adjust the intensity of the orbit by these controls here.
That's over to the right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the rate, and then yes, you can adjust the intensity of the orbit.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we can go in a negative amount, and yeah. Okay, and you can see the little shadow kind of altering its position.
And maybe if you turn the source knob all the way down, and then we can just hear what's going on in the background. And turn the Swarm up.
Let me go back to. Let me just load that again, just to get.
It's fine. But the cool thing is that it's being synthesized, so
yeah,
there's a lot of flexibility to the sound. It's not just a a sample of a pad or something. It's actually being made from tiny grains of the original sample. So I find that like it's very homogeneous.
Yeah. So
With the instrument.
if you're wanting to purchase the instrument, go ahead and use the link in the description, because that's going to help support the channel and let the guys at Skybox know that you guys are watching, and it just helps us to keep doing what we're doing. So I just wanted to point that out. Secret, use the link in the description if you grab this. So so he said Clunky Nightmare sealed the deal for him.
That's great. Well, Simeon's got a lot of lights. He's got to keep the lights on in there. Look at all the lights.
The lights. Yeah. And yeah, that's cool. Okay. So that's the UX upright. Is there another patch in the UX upright that you
Sure,
think
you
would be
move down to that next one, BLEEP STRUMMER. That's a great, just to, play it'll do an arpeggio for you. So just play a quick little stab.
Oh. That's cool. That's kind of cool. So this is the fractals. Fractals are it's the arpeggiator, right?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, it's got some cool features. It's got the XY as well, so you can adjust the timbre of the.
So bottom left is dark. Top right is the brightest. Okay. So
right.
Okay.
It's kind of the vibe.
Okay, so that sounds almost like it's almost sound like a Yangchen or something like that with that.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. When is a piano not a piano? When it's a BLEEP strummer, and you can go all kinds of crazy places.
That's right.
Well, Clock of the Lamb. What is? Let's just listen to that. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so it's like that ticking. It's like a nice little syncopated thing.
Right, because in the fractals layer, there's also that strike layer that you have in source. So you can add an attack layer. If you go to the bottom left of the design section, then you see a little arrow where the strike, and so you can actually add those additional attack sounds to the fractals layer too. So that's what's going on
here. That last thing got into that Asian world music thing.
Yeah, man. Pentatonics are where it's at.
And see.
That's great. One neat feature about the fractals is if you see all the way on the left underneath the XY pad, there's that skip. If you turn that up, there you go. If you crank that up, what that's going to do is that eliminates the lower parts of the voicing. So if you just on the there you go. So if you go up 2.
Okay.
Now, if you play octaves in your left hand, those aren't going to get added to the arpeggio.
So it isolates. So you can isolate the octave.
So you can play. So basically, you can have an ostinato going in the right hand, like a chord, and then you can change the bass notes, and those don't get added to the arpeggio. So it's kind of useful.
That's cool. And it goes up pretty.
Yeah, it'll just calculate whatever the bottom 2 notes are that you're playing.
Oh, okay. So it's going to intelligently know that it's going to kind of filter those out.
Yep. Whatever you're playing in the bottom. Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Those strike layers, I think, just add that little extra something, that percussiveness in there. I think this really, really cool. Someone said there about maybe a try before you buy option, and I don't think that's available.
No, unfortunately not. But I realize we're a new company. We do having a 14-day return policy. If you don't like it, you can return it in 14 days. So
That's good. So Steve,
not quite try before you buy, but
yeah,
that's as good as we can do with the constraints that we have with
I
NI
think
and
that's
stuff.
good. So there's a 4 payment, so you can break it up into 4 payments.
That's right. Through our store, you can break it up into 4 payments of about $68 and change over
Okay.
4 months. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, for
That
the
is
intro
cool.
pricing for sure.
And the intro pricing goes until
The end of August.
the end of August, which August 23rd will be our 35th wedding anniversary. So just right around
Well,
that area there.
congrats.
Yeah, man.
My 17th is tomorrow.
Wow.
17th anniversary. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
There we go.
that's great. Okay, so I've got to play this for you. Oh, how we danced on the night we were wed. The stars in the sky, not a word was said. Darling, I held you so close in my arms. Yeah, the anniversary. Yeah, I could do. Yeah,
love it.
na, 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 na. Okay, cool.
The hardest part about being on your show is I can't play along. It's killing me. It's no fun to watch you have such a good time, and I just got to sit here like a floating head. Next time we'll figure out a way to jam.
We'll figure out. Yeah, you fly me out to LA, and we can go to Galaxy's Edge or Avengers Campus and
there you go.
have some fun.